I see you, RB, on Stage 32, on Instagram, on Twitter, doing podcasts, doing webinars, hosting AMAs. I see you everywhere. Ashley, we do too, and we have no idea how he even sleeps. But I also see pictures of you on social media cooking and working out with friends. For someone like me who struggles to find time to write and make films, how do you balance it all? Please give me some tips.
Well, one, thank you. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you see everything, because everything I put out on social media, when we talk about crowdsourcing and brands, your personal brand matters. And my personal brand that I want to portray and put out there is inspiration, aspiration, motivation. So I hope that that content has hit at least one of those marks, if not all three for you. So I do appreciate that. And how do I find balance is by accepting the idea that there is no such thing. There is no such thing in my world as balance. What there is happiness in all things. That's it, okay? I want to be happy in every single thing I do. I love working out. I love exercising. I love doing different types of exercising. And I exercise probably 6 to 7 days a week. So I find the time to do that, usually first thing in the morning. I absolutely make sure that I find the time to do that because it brings me happiness. Sometimes I do it listening to music. Sometimes I do it watching like a movie or a documentary. Sometimes I do it in complete silence because it's like meditative to me. But that's mine. That's mine, and it brings me happiness. I don't do it for anybody else. I don't work out to look good for anybody else or to feel good about anybody else. I do it for myself. And you got to do that. You got to find those things that make you happy. I mentioned earlier that some weeks I work 70 to 80 hours on Stage 32. But you know what? I love it. And I love helping people, and I love being in front of it, and I love the work that we're doing, and I believe in it. So I don't look at it like, God, this is taking me away from everything else. I look at it like, this brings me joy. This brings me happiness. My creative pursuits are the same thing. That's not to say there's not negativity, like, producing a movie and then, you're 3/4 of the way there and everything falls apart. You take that meeting, like I said, you're pitching a television show, you wait a month and a half, you hear nothing but good news, and then it's not loud enough, like I said earlier in the show. And, you get this massive setback after a month and a half. Or you work 80 hours a week and 80 hours on Stage 32, and the thing you're trying to implement, from a technological standpoint doesn't work. And you feel like you wasted that time, but you don't. You don't feel like you wasted that time because you learned something from it, and you figure it out, and you keep moving forward, and you keep moving forward, and you keep moving forward. So what I would stress to you is it's about happiness. It's about doing the things you love, and it's about doing the things you love on your own terms, in your own time, not anyone else's time, not on anyone else's terms, okay? On your time and on your terms. You have nobody that you need to answer to but yourself. At the end of the day, it's your life, it's your career, it's your pursuits. You are the CEO of you. So why give any of that away, right? So this is another reason why I suggest auditing your time. Because if there are things in your life that are stealing time away from you being able to pursue the things that bring you joy, you need to figure those out and either cut them out or figure out the processes that cut down on that time so you have more time to do the things that you love. And really, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So I don't believe in balance. I think balance just puts unnecessary pressure on you, and it creates this great, sort of mythical bullshit goal that doesn't really exist. And all of a sudden you start going like, well, I've spent 50% of my time on creative pursuits and 50% of my time on that. Yeah. Are you happy? Are you happy? And if you're not, figure out why. And auditing your time will get you there. I can promise you that.
I love this.
Okay, so let me get to it real quick, because you saw Richard Botto was answering on how he utilizes his time. A lot of people will say, I see you do it. I see you doing this. I see you doing that. First of all, anything you're gaining, if you're gleaning someone's schedule from what they, the photograph or things that they shoot, I mean, you really can't. I mean, you don't know if they really did all of that in one day or 1 week. So always remember that. But he does say he works out 6 to 7 days a week. Also, be careful that people who you asking advice from, what stage of the game are you in? If you ask Oprah how she do her thing, well, where are you? Because if you just got out of journalism school, you might need to go get her old interviews when she was being interviewed. about how did she come up and all of that. Asking her now in 2021 is pointless. The ink on your degree isn't even dry. You got to get more specific advice other than just asking, because like I expect a 12-year-old to be enamored by the star athlete and to ask that same question, but not his 15, 16-year-old brother scouts are coming to the game. He might now, the older brother might ask him more specific, like, well, how do you prepare for the season? Because, hey, it could happen, right? So my advice, because I'm talking to people who are in my boat as a filmmaker. As you can see, I do not work on the set. This is the Fire Command Station. My primary job is to check people in and all that. I am a fire life safety director that writes scripts, writes screenplays. The goal is to get into the business using this job to keep the lights on, because I don't believe in the starving artist thing. And I don't have all day to figure out what Bitcoin is doing and crypto and all. If I want to do that, then I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't know too many screenwriters that are like they, they're really an investor in Bitcoin. I mean, you can invest in stuff and you can have, like, I've got a portfolio, but that's not my thing. I don't have a channel telling you how to get crypto and all of that. So my advice is to people who are in my boat. As you can see, I got to wear the monkey suit. The best way to balance that time, and again, I agree, balance is a bit of a flimsy word. I use my own life. I'm out here losing weight. I ain't in the gym. I don't eat crap. My diet changed in high school. So that's a long time ago. Cut the pork out, fish on the dish, no sugar, none of that. I haven't eaten sugar and all that kind of stuff in almost 25 years. Y'all know how it went down, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I got rid of that at 25. So that's one way I keep the weight off. The other way is you got to abuse every waking moment. I have the ability to be on my phone at this job, so I take advantage of it. As you can see, I can come to this desk with my yellow pad. I got my notes. As I made videos where I've shown my scripts are here with me at work. They're not here today because I finished those drafts. And my laptop is coming out the shop. When we could move around, I would leave work, go straight to Starbucks. I find a first Starbucks, get busy. I time everything out. How long it take to get from here to here to here? Can we go here? Can we do that? You got to be brutal, hardcore. You got to cut friends and family off who are not with the program. That's not to say be a hermit, but that's just to say if y'all want me to come to the party, I'm not driving all the way over there. You coming to get me, right? If you're not, then I don't care. I got things to do. There's no offense to your friends and family, but if they not like code web developers, they not running a school, they not a principal, whatever. Listen, they just go to work and wait for 8 hours and go home. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I'm not jumping up for that kind of thing anymore. I've been doing this for over 10 years, this schedule. That's how I got out of college. I went to school at night. How you doing? Okay. I went to school at night. And then I was working in the day. That was BMCC and NYU, all right? And when I was in school upstate, I was coming home for the summer and working. So this has been a routine for me for a long time. So when you think about how to, how you gonna be a screenwriter and you got a day job and all that, it like he just said, man, you got to figure it out, like what makes you happy. Being Mr. Convenient and sitting in somebody's birthday party after the first hour, just face it, is boring. That's not happy. Unless I'm gonna leave and then they like, oh, he only came, showed up, took 2 drinks and left. Now they mad. And I'm not saying don't go to people's parties. I'm not saying be antisocial. But if you're really trying to get in this film game, you're gonna have to understand how to divvy up that time and how you're gonna have to be hardcore about it. How, writing a story, people don't think you working because all you do is sit down. That's their fault. I don't care. Every TV show, commercial, on the radio, every song, everything is written. So I don't know how all this stuff is on TV, your phone, everywhere. It doesn't write itself. Peace.